Hi everyone, so today I want to talk about the bad things about being in IT. Now I normally talk about a lot of the good things, but I'm going to focus on the bad things today. So let's start with the first one, and that is you may not feel like you're as big of a part of things. Now think about a show like Star Trek. You might not feel like Kirk or Spock, you might feel more like the guy that programmed the console. Now that console is mission critical. If the consoles on the Enterprise didn't work, the episodes would be a lot different. But you might not really be able to say, I was there, I was a part of this, I worked on this. So take an organization like NASA. If you're working IT at NASA, you may be responsible for providing engineering tools and keeping them working so that they can make the Mars rover using them. But it's going to be hard to walk away saying that you worked on it. You just supported the people that did. And that's okay. And it's sort of made up for by the fact that the people that actually do work on it, in my experience, do show a lot of appreciation. So beyond that, let's talk about the outside world. So when NASA landed that rover on Mars, a lot of people were really happy with them and their team. This is kind of a direct positive response from the outside world. In IT, unfortunately, it goes the opposite way, because the only way that your department is going to be making the news is if you get hacked. So you don't really get any outside thanks from the world when you do something good. You will internally, and I have internally, and to me that is very important, and I'd say even more important than what the outside world thinks. But you could get a lot of blowback from the outside world if you get hacked, if you mess up. Now, this is sort of similar to, think about the gas pipeline, right, that got hacked. Those IT people may have done very good things at that pipeline. And when they messed up, they got a lot of flack, but no one ever thanked them for the good things that they did. So this is similar to other professions. Anything that is relied upon by society, but not, mind-blowing like a rover landing on Mars, it tends to just be expected, and you can only really expect a negative reaction. So what else is there? On that note, you may need to be relied upon. And that's to say that you may get called in, basically. You might be needed at a certain point. Now, a lot of people like being needed. I like being needed, but some people really don't. And if you're the kind of person that just doesn't want to deal with that kind of stuff, you want to do what you do and go home at 5 and expect to never have an interruption in that, IT is not as good of a place for you. So it could also be considered to be less cutting edge in a lot of ways. Now, this is a lot less true than it used to be for several reasons. One, security is involved. So IT security is cutting edge security, and that is something that all IT people get to be a part of. The other reason is because there are a lot of platforms out there like ServiceNow that bring a lot of cutting edge stuff to your doorstep without requiring large development teams. However, if you want to write a new framework for your programming language of choice, you are probably in the wrong place if you're in an IT department. So beyond that, there's less specialization in IT generally. Now, you can still become very specialized, don't get me wrong, but you're probably not going to be the only person in the world that knows how to do something. So if that's important to you, you probably shouldn't do IT. The good thing, though, is you will learn to do a lot of different things, and that can be seen, as kind of just as much of a benefit. So, these are things that you should think about if you're thinking about, should I go into IT, or should I be doing something where I push something to, direct to customers, where I am working on the product that the company is about. On that subject, though, what about Facebook, right? What about Twitter? Where does that fall? Because these products are live. They rarely get any appreciation for things going well, but they get a lot of hate when things go down, or especially if they were to be hacked. There are people that need to be relied on there, and maybe even called in a lot more often than IT folks that just work behind the scenes. So what is that? So that is sort of a change that you're seeing in this industry. It used to be that a software product, there'd be a deadline, it would be worked on, and it would be written to a ton of CDs and shipped, and that's how it worked. And if you were working on that product as a developer especially, you would probably never ever see the customer. And you would just write code until the deadline hit and it would get shipped and rinse repeat. So that is not how software works a lot of times anymore. Software now is a living, breathing thing, sort of like an IT system. So yes, this is an in-between. And you can think of that as a support role. It really is support even if you're not working with a customer, because you're sort of supporting the product at that point. And it can be a very good place to be. So I hope this helped you guys. I'm not trying to say that working in IT is bad. Please don't think that. I've just done so many videos on the good things about it. I felt like it might be good to do one talking about the bad things about working in IT. So hope you like this video. If you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe to my channel. Have a good night.